which pretty much ends the game anyways. So with the Hunters, what you want to do is you want to push your early game advantage, obviously. Oh, he's creeping. I expected more from this push. Yeah, what you want to do is you want to gain the early game advantage, prevent them from creeping, prevent an early level 3, which are huge water elementals, and they make a huge, huge difference. That was a pretty quick pickup of the item, but I don't know, he's pro, whatever. So, yeah, what you do is you kind of force them into a bad early game situation, and the fact that they have a terrible early game means you can actually set up an expo pretty safely. And then when you set up the expo, what you do is you bank on your monetary advantage. And in this case, that's pretty much how you end the game. And instead of teching and stuff, you just want to go into low upkeep with a bunch of Huntress. And you should be able to win fairly handily. If they start massing towers, all you do is you get a couple glaives. If they try to fast expo on you, that's pretty much a free win, just because you're going to have so many more units to be able to push the expo, and you can stop the towers from going up, pick off tons of peasants, and if it still goes up, you have the opportunity to go dual racks glaives, and they won't actually have any decent units to be able to take out the glaive throwers until they hit tier 2, which you should be able to take out their expo by then, or at least part of their main, or a bunch of farms, or their tier 2 buildings, or whatever they'll need for tier 2. You'll notice True Shot Aura level 3 and Panda dies. This might have been for a tournament, who knows. But, yeah, it's a pretty sweet game. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, for those of you having problems with human, this is my favorite way to do it. I do it the Axlab way just because I like the tier 3 glaives. And plus I like having the abolish for when they hit level 5, if they hit level 5. It depends how it plays out, really. If they play that aggressively against you, you're not going to have to worry about the level 5. Coke. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, if they play that aggressively, you don't really have to worry about the level 5. But when they do hit level 5, if they don't play that aggressively, then what you sort of have to do is just ignore them, let them do the damage that they do, and just make sure that they don't expo, and you should be able to overrun them with unit numbers. And that should be how it plays out. I have beaten this strategy before just because I think I know it too well. So yeah, I usually end up beating it. I'm not gonna say how because that's pretty counterproductive in an audio. Let's check the forums. I knew I had some PMs. I probably won't read them this time though. I will read them when I get back to my old self, or myself from Toronto. Blah blah blah. What does this say? Oh, this is some dude said, requested that I rap in one of my audios, and I'm debating about it. I might just do it in a shoutcast instead, but I don't think I'll do it in an audio until I get some sort of approval. Plus, it's probably very inappropriate what I would write. Let us see. 4v4 RT strategies. This is from the, blah blah. I wrote up a thread, thought you would have some input since you do play 4v4. Yeah, I do play 4v4. It's fun. This game is fun. I haven't really played competitively in a while, and the last time I did, I lost to, Flo from VT, which was really bad. I actually could have won that. I just played it awfully. Like, it was just awful. Anyways, here's the thread. Okay, I'm doing pretty well with this retarded elf strat, but I would rather know what to do with all races than just elf. Well, I know the correct way. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, if you want to win with elf, you could just mass dryads, because what most people will do is they'll mass frost worms, and, get an anti-magic shield potion. So then all you really have to do is just make sure your heroes don't die, and then sort of attack move the massive amounts of Griffins, Chimera, and Frostworms that pretty much everyone builds. With Human, a good way to go about it is you can go mass mortar teams. That works out pretty well. I've won a bunch of games with mass riflemen with a couple priests for Dispel. The mass mortar teams works fairly well, though. You can mix in some sorceress, stealth mode their base. That's always pretty funny. Of course, a lot of people will do the mass tanks BS, which is good anti-air and good anti-building. But I hate using it. Mass flying machines is always just hilarious, just because most 4v4 games end up being a lot of air, which is, it's sort of fun, but it's also a little bit repetitive, so the mass flying machines works. With Orc, I usually go mass Wind Riders, or I will go, Witch Doctors with a bunch of Headhunters, and you may think it doesn't work, but what you do is you kind of let your allies tank for you, and this is basically what I do no matter what anyways, is you let your allies tank for you and you use Berserk mode. Wow, that was quite the stammer. And then you just kind of watch as everything dies, because you do like 10 times the damage. It's pretty sweet for damage. With what raises Undead, I usually just go mass Fiends with statues. That works. I am undefeated with that strategy. Also, a lot of people will tell you, oh my god, go mass Frostworms. Well, pretty much everyone goes mass Frostworms anyways, so it's not really, a special strategy. Destroyers works a lot too, just because people will go with the mass Shamans and the Bloodlust. Sometimes Witch Doctors, you can devour the wards. Sometimes Inner Fire pops up. Not as often, though. Same with Fairy Fire. That doesn't pop up very often either. But wards, Bloodlust, and obviously Skeletons pop up here, every now and again. Slow will be a pain. Same with Polymorph. So you can get rid of that fairly easily with the Destros. Plus they're magic immune. And people hate magic immune units. Especially if they're air units, because usually the only way they can get rid of magic immune units is either Tauren or mortar teams. And if you can't do it with either one of those, they're screwed. It's like, yeah, this one game I was playing in solo, it was like my first game on the account, and the guy was like, oh my god, my Griffins want to attack your Destroyer, imbalance, you hacker. And I was like, what? Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know, I think I'll end off the audio, because I have a bunch of stuff to read in these staff forums. There's important stuff going on that I really don't understand, but whatever. Wow, that's a lot. Anyways, so I will end off here. Enjoy using the mass huntressness. It works against Orc as well. I use it against Undead, but you really sort of have to do a tier 2 tower push against Undead. That works a lot better than just not doing it. If you let them get tier 2 with a bunch of Gargs, then you sort of have to rely on your archers, and it's not so fun. I like Huntress a lot better than archers, personally. So yeah, I'll end the audio here. Jeez, 40-minute audio for 2, 10-minute replays. That's gross. And I will see you guys next time.